So far, we've only seen division in the special case where we're dividing by a single-digit number, and therefore the multiplication table was of great help to us. What do we do if we're dividing by a number with several digits? Suppose we wanted to divide 8,942 by 27. What would we do? So we have 27 into 8,942. And again, it's going to be important that I keep track of my place values, so I'm going to write in some columns. So I look at the first digit. 27 certainly doesn't go into 8. But 27 does go into 89 at least once, because 89 is more than 27. So I want to take a wild guess. How many times does 27 go into 89? And maybe my first guess is 4. I'm going to go over to the side and work out what is 27 times 4. Let's see, 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 2 I carried is 10. So 4 times 27 is 108. 108 is more than 89, so 4 was too big. I'm going to try again. I'm going to leave this here because I might need it later. But I'm going to try again. My next guess will be smaller, maybe 3. So I'll work out 3 times 27. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2, write down the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Add in the 2, I get 8. So 3 times 27 is 81, which is smaller than 89. And it's smaller than 89, but the next number up, 4, was too big. So I know 3 is the number that I want here. So 3 times 27 I said was 81. I subtract. 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. I move over. Bring down the 4. Now I'm thinking 27 into 84. Oh, I can use my 3 again. Right, because 84 is between 81 and 108. Subtract, I get 3. Bring down the 2. And now I'm almost certain that my right guess is going to be 1, since 27 times 1 we know is 27. I want to make sure that 1 is not too small. I'll take 27 times 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 54 is bigger than 32. 2 would be too big. So 1 is my right guess. And now I subtract. I'll need to borrow. 12 minus 7 is 5. 2 minus 2 is 0. And now I'm out of digits, so this 5 down here is my remainder. 8,942 divided by 27 is 331, remainder 5. So what did I do here? After we take each guess, we want to actually work out the multiplication off to the side. Now this probably isn't the way you've been taught this algorithm before. I know it isn't the way that I was originally taught this algorithm, but it is so much easier when we work this way. There are 2 advantages. 1, if we need 3 again, we already have 27 times 3 written down. 2, we don't get a whole clutter of old carries over here. Right? So use this extra space off to the side. Work out all of your multiplications off to the side so that you have a record of what you had. The last advantage is if you've made a mistake, It's easier to spot by looking back at this. All right, let's work another example together. Let's suppose we want to divide 52,961 by 135. This looks bad, it's not that bad. We want 135 into 52,961. And again, I'm going to need to keep track of my place values pretty carefully. I'll draw in these lines. I'll extend them down further as we need them. So, I'm going to cover up my columns. 135 doesn't go into 5. It doesn't go into 52. But it is going to go into 529 at least once, because 135 is smaller than 529. So I'm going to take a completely wild guess because I have no idea what the multiples of 135 look like. If I have no idea at all, my first guess is going to be 5. So I'll have 135 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 135 times 5 is 675. That's too big. Right, it doesn't seem a terrible lot too big. I'm going to try 4 next. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12, plus another 2 is 14. 4 times 1 is 4, plus another 1 is 5. So I get 540. Still too big, right? 540 is still bigger than 529. But I'm getting close. I'm almost sure 3 is going to work. 135 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. Add in another 1, I get 10. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. I get 405. That's way less than 529, right? Maybe I made a mistake in this multiplication. Let's see. So my guess is going to be 3. 3 times 135 is 405. I do the subtraction. 9 minus 5 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. And now, see this number here? I have 124, which is smaller than 135. So 3 was the right guess. My next digit cannot be more than 9. I bet that 9 is going to be my right guess, though, because this is almost 1,350. 9 is going to be the first thing that I try. 135 times 9. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 3 is 27. 28, 29, 30, 31. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 3 is 10, 11, 12. Ah, yes, see, 1,215 is smaller than 1,246. So 9 is my next digit. 1215. I subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. Bring down the 1. Okay, now I want to know how many times does 135 go into 311? Well, 3 is too many, so I'm going to try 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, 7. 2 times 1 is 2. Well, 2 will certainly work. I know 3 was too big, so 2 must be my next digit. 2 times 135 I said was 270. Now I subtract. 1 minus 7, I can't do it. I've got to borrow. 2 minus 2 is 0. Sorry, 1 minus 0 was 1, right? So my quotient is 392. My remainder, 41. All right, so these problems where we're dividing by a large number, they're totally doable. They just require patience and some amount of care. I'm going to give you a problem like this to try. Evaluate 63,947 divided by 97. Pause the video and try this now. So we want to divide 97 into 63,947. Tracking my place value is important, so I'm going to mark in my columns. Does 97 go into 6? No. Does it go into 63? No. Does it go into 639? Yeah, at least once. 639 is more than 97. All right, so what should my first guess be for how many times does 97 go into 639? Maybe a different first guess occurred to you. But my first guess is going to be 5, because I have no idea. So 97, 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 9 is 45, 46, 47, 48. Well, 5 times 97 is certainly smaller than 639, but I think it's too much smaller. I'm going to try 6. 97 times 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 9 is 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. 582. I think that's going to work out, but just to make sure, I'm going to try 7 as well. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 9 is 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Okay, yeah, 7 was too big. 6 was my right guess. 6 times 97 is 582. Now I need to subtract. 9 minus 2 is 7. 3 minus 8, I can't do it. I've got to borrow. 13 minus 8 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. All right. Now I uncover the next place. I bring down the 4. Okay, I see that 6 is too big. 5 will be my right guess. Right, because 6 is just a little bit too big, but nonetheless too big. So 5 is my right guess. I've already done this multiplication. I have 485. 4 minus 5, I can't do it. I have to borrow. Take away 1 from the 7, it becomes a 6. Add 10 to the 4, it becomes 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. 6 minus 8, I can't do it. I have to borrow 1. 5 becomes 4. 6 becomes 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 4 minus 4 is 0. All right. Uncovering this last digit, I've got a 7. 897. I probably am going to want either 8 or 9. I'm going to try 9 first. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 9 is 81. 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. 9 times 97 is 873, which is smaller than 897. So 9 is my guess. Now I subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. 9 minus 7 is 2. 8 minus 8 is 0. My remainder is 24. So in this problem I find the quotient is 659. The remainder is 24.